Oh, I love these questions. Hey everybody, Joe Sangl with Fully Funded Life here. And one of the great privileges I have is traveling all over the place, teaching classes about personal finances. And we're using a product called Slido, which allows participants to ask questions many times anonymously. And I stop a couple times in each event and answer questions, kind of like hot seat. Well, I can't possibly get all the questions. We have dozens and dozens, many times over 100 questions at an event. And so we're going to take this venue to be able to answer some great questions that were asked that we weren't able to get to. This question is a great question. Got a 1-year-old, they want to bless them with something at age 18. They're getting some money. Should they set up a Roth IRA or a high yield account? Well, number one, to have a Roth IRA, the person's name on the account must have earned income. Now, a 1-year-old can have earned income if they're a model for like a Gerber baby ad or they model kids clothing, they can earn income that way, but they have to have earned income. So that may not be the best method. And then they're saying the alternative that they're thinking of is a high yield account. Well, with interest rates as they're at, as I'm recording this in January of 2024, well, that can be an excellent choice. Now, they don't want to put all their eggs in a 529 account. I think many times that's the case because parents don't know whether or not their child's going to go to college or not. So I can certainly appreciate that. So the better moment here is to set up I would set up a trading account at Schwab personally. I always answer these in terms of what would Joe Sangl do if he woke up tomorrow in your shoes. I would open up a Charles Schwab trading account, and it would be a custodial account with your child's name on it. That would give you the option to invest it in high yield, safe investments like CDs or US Treasuries, but it also gives you the opportunity to invest in index funds and other, riskier funds, but maybe a higher chance for growth. So that's what I would do. Open account, a custodial trading account at Charles Schwab, and that would give you the options. The biggest thing though is to get started. Great question. Thanks for asking it. Well, we got 4 things put before me: debt, savings, retirement, investments. I would say refer to the Fully Funded Life Ladder. We'll throw it up there, and you can see that the first thing is to write down your plans, hopes, and dreams, because we want your fully funded life to drive your decisions. The second thing is savings. So savings would be number 1 of this list. Number 3, you're starting those retirement savings, that retirement investment. That's rung number 3, $100 a month or whatever the company matches. Make sure you get it all. Okay, which of those 2 is greater? That's the one. Then number 4 of the ladder is debt. Pay off your non-house, non-business debt. And then we build our savings again. So savings number 2 to a minimum of 3 months. And then we go to bigger investments. It can be retirement, college, and more widespread investments in rung 6. Rung 7, of course, we're attacking more debt, the house, and business debt if you have it. And then you go to rung 8, where it's 30% of your gross income into tax advantage investments. So that would be the order we put it in. That should answer the question. That's why we provide the roadmap, the ladder, because it can be very convoluted and hard to figure out on your own. Follow the Fully Funded Life plan. You'll be really glad you did. It can be very intelligent to consolidate your credit card debt with a loan with this caveat. Many people have consolidated their credit card debt and it frees up room on their credit card, and they didn't change the behavior that led to the debt in the first place. And so really quickly, they end up, because they didn't change their behavior, with new credit card debt and the consolidation loan. So what I would encourage you to do before you do a consolidation loan is to do a budget and prove to yourself and your spouse, if you're married, that you can go 6 months without incurring any new debt. If you do that, then it can be very wise to get that consolidation loan and get that credit card debt to really low interest. One other option, roll that credit card debt to a 0% balance transfer offer. That way it goes to 0 interest. But got to change that behavior that leads to debt first, or else it won't work very well for you. Great question. Is it possible to snowball debt a little under $3,000? Yes. But then they're saying Is it possible to get after my debt, then tithe and save? Can all three consecutively be done at the same time? I would submit to you that 95% of people can do all three of those things at the same time. That they can snowball their debt and give and save at the same time. But it requires the use of a very important tool, a budget. Without a budget, it's going to be impossible to consistently do all three of those things. And that's why just one more reason of the thousands of reasons I love my budget. A budget allows me to tithe and give to my church and give to others. It allows me to save and allows me to pay off debt, which I did 21 years ago. You can do it too. That's a great question. It's an honest question and I love it. Okay, here we go. When you have multiple debts, which do you pay off first, the biggest or the smallest? Hey, paying off debt, can we just agree, whichever approach, both are great, but my preference is the debt snowball technique where you focus on the smallest debt first. Pay minimum payments on all debts except for that smallest one and attack it because I want you to see victories. It's kind of like going on that diet. You want to get on the scale and see it reading a lower number, right? Or else you're done with that diet. And when you focus on that smallest amount, you start to see victories. And that's what you and I both need. It's how I paid off my debt in 14 months. I think you can do it too. Use our debt freedom date calculator. It'll help you big time. Hey, what's my difference between me and the Dave Ramsey method? Well, number one, I'm not telling you to go chop up the credit cards unless you're not paying them off every month. Then you should. Number two, I really start with plans, hopes, and dreams. It's hard to stick to a budget if you don't know your why. So that's a big difference. The third difference is we make sure that you start taking advantage of that company match before you become debt-free, except for the house. Listen, it takes people 2-3 years to become debt-free, except for the house. And I don't want people to miss out on that free money. And then we actually put handles on how much to be investing. And we really want to go to that 15% investing before we pay off the house and then go to 30% after that. One other big difference is we speak a lot more about the detailed side of investing. Our Oxen book talks a lot about that, but that's the difference. Hey, Dave does great stuff. Grateful for him and all that he does. Don't all these options require having money in the first place? Yes, I can hear the frustration in your question. Hey, look, I fully understand it and I can empathize with you. It does require having money. To make good money decisions requires money. I once heard it said there's a good place to go when you're broke: to work. It's a surefire money-making scheme. I think Dave Ramsey said that the first time I heard it, and it is so true. You've got to have money. I have a lot of people come up after these events and they say, of course this works, they have money. And it's like they're mad at me, but I didn't invent the rule. Income minus outgo, say it, equals exactly zero. Without income, you can't have outgo. So go produce some income. Plus, you'll be tired after doing that and you'll spend money less. What do you do if you're not on the same page with your spouse? Woo! Time for some good conversations, some heated rallies, I would call them. As my podcast co-host Megan says, she and her husband have intense fellowship about this. So I would encourage you to have some intense fellowship, but I would start with those plans, hopes, and dreams. Hey, if you have children, let the children be removed from the situation. Go out on a date night. Have a pen and paper for both of you and say, hey, I would like you to write down some of your plans, hopes, and dreams. What do you really want to accomplish in the next 10 or 20 or 30 years together? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And write it down without sharing it with each other. Write them down. And then after about 15, 20 minutes of that, start sharing your thoughts with each other. When you get focused on these shared plans, hopes, and dreams, it becomes exciting. And then I can tell you, for me, it becomes very exciting to help my wife fulfill one of her dreams. And then she can get a little bit excited about funding one of my dreams. So I encourage you, have the communication. You'll be so glad you did, even though at the front end, it might not seem like the best decision. You can do this. Oh, I love these questions. Is it too late to start investing for retirement in your late 30s? Oh, hey, listen, y'all on YouTube who are in your 60s and 70s, your 50s, can you just go ahead and answer this for me? I mean, just answer this for me. Okay, let's answer it. 1, 2, 3. No! You know I'm right. Have a great week, everybody. Hey everyone, Joe Sangl here. Thanks so much for watching this episode. Hey, I encourage you to check out our other videos that are available here. If you like this, hey, every single week we're producing new content that is to help you with right now relevant information. So make sure you click one of the links and check out some more of our information. I think you'll be so glad that you did. I know your wallet will be glad you did.